Hey, do you have any comments on P. Diddy situation? Have you been to those parties before?
Have I been to his parties? No, I never went to his parties.
No?
No, man.
You never get invited to go to his party?
I think I was a little old.
No, you're not old, man. You look young.
I think I was a little old to be invited, is my point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trying to get some justice. I can't even say justice because obviously there hasn't been a court process yet. We're still waiting for that to happen. But I, along with so many others, I'm sure want to see the justice play out in the right way. And hopefully nothing happens to him while he's incarcerated, and we get, some real answers.
Corey Feldman is back in the news, and this time he's making some serious waves in Hollywood. But the stakes are higher than ever. In the middle of a heated legal battle with Diddy, Corey says it's time to expose new names, people he claims have been part of Hollywood's darker side for years.
6 names. One of them who's still very powerful today.
Everyone's wondering, what exactly does Corey Feldman know, and just how deep does it go? Today, we're diving into his claims and what role they could play in Diddy's ongoing legal issues. As Corey prepares to testify, he's made it clear he won't hold back. But to fully understand why his latest statements are causing such a stir, we need to look back at where this all started. Corey Feldman's fight against Hollywood's dark secrets has been decades in the making. He entered the industry as a child star in the 1980s, but behind all the fame and flash, he faced trauma that haunted him for years. His best friend, Corey H., experienced similar horrors, and that pain played a role in his tragic passing. Over the years, Feldman has spoken out about the powerful figures who controlled and manipulated young actors, accusing Hollywood of having a hidden world of exploitation that many are either too scared to challenge or too deeply tied to ever expose.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they
do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
For years, Corey Feldman has been speaking out about a predatory network he claims is deeply embedded in Hollywood. Despite facing heavy criticism and being dismissed as a troublemaker or conspiracy theorist, he has remained determined. Feldman says these aren't just random incidents, but part of a much larger, hidden problem, one that's been protected and normalized by Hollywood's elite. He often talks about a brotherhood within the industry, where powerful figures cover for each other. In interviews, Feldman has named specific people who he believes use their influence to silence survivors and hide their crimes. He's made it clear that there's a deliberate, organized effort to keep these secrets buried. The pain from his own experiences, and the tragic loss of his best friend Corey H., fuel his mission to expose the truth. Feldman has vowed to keep fighting until Hollywood's dark side is fully revealed. Now, as Diddy faces serious allegations, Feldman sees it as a pivotal moment. Diddy, one of the biggest names in the music world, was recently arrested on charges that have shaken even those familiar with Hollywood scandals. The charges include human trafficking, suggesting that Diddy may have been involved in a disturbing, highly organized operation. His arrest has caused major outrage, not just among fans, but within the industry as well, with many high-profile figures linked to him. Diddy's extensive connections, spanning musicians, actors, executives, and the world of hip-hop, make this trial even more explosive. As the charges unfold, many are questioning just how deep Diddy's ties go and what other secrets might be uncovered in the courtroom.
Never been to any of his parties. I've never met the guy. I don't know any of those people. But it's disgusting, and I'm so grateful that justice is being served. And I really hope that there's a continuation of this and all of these scumbags get taken down, because children need to be protected.
Corey Feldman didn't hold back when discussing Diddy's arrest, and he's expressing a sense of relief that justice might finally be served. Speaking openly, he said this is exactly the kind of situation he's been warning about for years. For Corey, Diddy's charges represent a long overdue reckoning for the Hollywood system. Feldman has always been vocal about the need for accountability, especially when it comes to powerful figures who exploit others. In his recent statements, he stressed the importance of protecting children and preventing the kind of abuse he and his late friend Corey H. endured. He believes the charges against Diddy are a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power in an industry where profit often takes precedence over basic human decency. Corey has also called out what he refers to as scumbags in Hollywood, people who use their influence to avoid consequences. He argues that as long as those in power can evade justice, the cycle of abuse will continue, leaving countless victims in its wake. But for him, this isn't just about Diddy. It's about a larger system that has enabled this behavior for far too long. Corey sees this moment as a rare chance to hold certain people in Hollywood accountable and expose the toxic underbelly of the industry. As for who might be implicated in all of this, Feldman has made it clear that he's not just pointing the finger at Diddy. There are other high-profile names potentially connected to this case, including figures like Harvey Weinstein, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Justin Bieber, all of whom have been seen in the same circles as Diddy and have benefited from Hollywood's culture of secrecy. Feldman has often spoken about the untouchables in the industry, those who, due to their fame, influence, or wealth, seem to escape any real consequences. But this case could be the first time some of these people are forced to answer for their actions.
Combs, former Bad Boy president Harv Pierre, and a third man have been accused of taking a 17-year-old across state lines and gang R-wording her at Combs' recording studio in 2003, according to a new lawsuit.
Harvey Pierre, a close associate of Diddy and a significant figure in the music industry, is someone Feldman believes could have valuable information about Diddy's private activities. Similarly, Cuba Gooding Jr., who has faced his own public controversies, may come under intense scrutiny due to his connections with Diddy. Feldman suggests that their ties to Diddy could shine a light on their own actions, as well as the actions of others in their circle.
Despite the harm to me, Cuba Gooding Jr. walks away from the court a free man without a record. It's like it never happened. But can the same thing be said for the women he did this to? Is it like it never happened to me? His actions tug at my sense of peace every single day. And that's compounded by the fact that this type of behavior seems to be tolerated in society.
Then there's Justin Diddy Combs, Diddy's son, who still moves in the same social circles tied to the powerful structures Corey Feldman has been fighting against. If these figures are called to testify, it could force the industry to face the reality that these behaviors aren't just isolated incidents, but part of a much larger web that has allowed misconduct to thrive for decades. If Corey follows through with naming these individuals in court, the impact could be monumental. Hollywood has long shielded its powerful figures, but this case may create a situation where silence is no longer an option. The mention of these names could spark further scrutiny, not just from the media, but also from law enforcement, who might be prompted to dig deeper into Hollywood's hidden corners. The potential fallout for anyone connected to this case is massive. Many celebrities are already bracing for what might come next. If called to testify, these individuals could be forced to answer questions that not only expose them but also the industry leaders they associate with. The revelations could shift Hollywood's power dynamics and change its inner circles forever.
Misconception about you. There are no misconceptions about me.
Corey Feldman's journey hasn't been easy. He's faced relentless attacks, character assassination, and professional backlash simply for daring to expose Hollywood's darkest secrets. For him, speaking out is about more than just personal healing. It's about ensuring others don't suffer the same trauma he and his friend, Corey Haim, went through. The very industry that once embraced him turned its back on him the moment he began pulling back the curtain, making him an outcast for standing by his beliefs. Taking on powerful figures in Hollywood often means walking a lonely, difficult path. Feldman has openly talked about the isolation he's felt and the paranoia that comes with challenging an industry that seems to protect its worst offenders. His mission is driven by a deep sense of justice and accountability, especially for those who can't speak for themselves. Over the years, Corey has become a symbol for survivors, showing that no matter how powerful his enemies may be, he won't back down. He didn't take on this role because it benefits him, but because he feels a strong moral responsibility to hold Hollywood's elite accountable. Feldman's bravery has opened doors for others. When he first started speaking out, few were willing to listen, but his persistence has inspired many others who've experienced similar abuse to come forward. His courage has given a voice to victims, encouraging them to break their silence and demand change. By challenging Hollywood's "don't ask, don't tell" culture, Corey's decision to expose the truth, despite the risks, underscores the critical importance of speaking up and refusing to be
Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Something, everything ain't for everybody.
So, what does all of this mean for the future of Hollywood? Could Corey Feldman's revelations change the industry for good? Hollywood is currently in the middle of a shift toward greater accountability. Public figures are increasingly speaking out against exploitation, and movements like #MeToo have paved the way for survivors to finally be heard. Corey Feldman's ongoing efforts to expose the dark side of Hollywood only add to this growing push for change. His courage to confront these issues forces the industry to face its problems, and, hopefully, take steps toward real reform. The outcome of Diddy's trial could be a game changer for how Hollywood handles cases involving powerful figures. If Diddy faces serious consequences, it would send a powerful message: no one is above the law, no matter how influential they are. The ripple effect from this trial could push other big names in Hollywood to either clean up their acts or prepare for the potential fallout. Many fans are already rallying behind Corey, voicing their support for him and sharing their thoughts on the trial. One fan commented, "I believe Corey. I think the reason why so many young actors have struggled is because of these sick, evil predators." Another said, "Thank you, Corey, for speaking up. If everyone spoke up, we could get rid of these evil people." And a third added, "It's so sad that Corey had to go through so much when he called out these criminals years ago. I hope he gets the support he needs emotionally and financially." There's clearly a strong belief that change is long overdue, and Feldman's recent revelations might just be the tipping point.